I promise to share one of the biggest secrets in the fitness industry. And this is absolutely key to unlocking your dream body goals. But most people are sleeping on this. And the question of will lifting weights make you bulky becomes obsolete. The question you should be asking yourself is, welcome to Slay, the podcast where we dive into all aspects of female health, fitness, and life. I'm your host, Louise Hazel, and today we're tackling one of the most asked questions in women's fitness. Will lifting weights make me bulky? So if you've ever hesitated to pick up a dumbbell because you were worried about turning into the Hulk, or you started a resistance training program and then stopped because you felt like you were getting bulky, then this episode is for you. You're going to want to stay tuned because I'm going to be setting the record straight, and I'm going to be unlocking one of the biggest secrets in the fitness industry. I feel like many health and fitness professionals, myself included, haven't been providing you with the full picture when it comes to myth busting the question of, will lifting weights make me bulky? Rather than actually taking the time to listen to how you're feeling, we're too busy defending the benefits of resistance training and blurting out all of the reasons why you won't or can't get jacked, from not having as much testosterone as men to the fact that you have to train really hard in order to get jacked, which seems kind of belittling to me. First of all, every woman has the ability to get jacked if she wants to. That is a fact. With the right training, nutrition, and commitment, there's nothing, absolutely nothing that your body can't do. So let's start there. But I feel like we, trainers and clients, are getting lost in translation. When a trainer hears bulky, they immediately think of bodybuilding. But when most female clients say bulky, they describe wanting to feel stronger without looking bigger. A vast majority of you want to look like you have more muscle tone and definition, a flat stomach and visible abs. So in your pursuit of more muscle tone, which essentially means increasing your lean muscle mass, you can often feel uncomfortable or even out of body when the number on the scale starts creeping up, or if your muscles start to grow. Now I get it, and I've been there myself. I've been in a store trying on new jeans and not been able to get them past my thighs. It is humbling, to say the least. So I'm here today to apologise to anyone that I've personally imparted my own bias on, and to let you know that I'm listening. I care about you, I care about how you feel, and together for the remainder of this episode, we're going to collaborate on some solutions for you. So if you're listening to this whilst driving, pull over and get ready to take some notes. There's a reason that this question comes up so often at the top of the Google search engine for frequently asked questions about women's fitness. It's because it's affecting so many women firsthand. This is real. You're not insane. And more importantly, I can help. So the real and honest answer to your question, will lifting weights make me bulky, is simply yes, given the right conditions. But you're unlikely to be winning Miss Olympia anytime soon. But what do we mean by the right conditions? Well, I'm about to guide you through a checklist of what the right conditions are for gaining muscle. So grab a notepad and let me know if any of the following apply to you. Are you an untrained individual? Are you returning to exercise from a break of 12 weeks or more? Do you typically lift anywhere between 8 reps or more of any one exercise? Do you typically train one muscle group more than once per week? Like, would you ever squat, for example, twice a week? Do you lift moderate to heavy weights? And are you eating in a calorie surplus? Now, if you answered yes to 2 or more of these questions, then the likelihood is that you could be creating an environment to encourage increased muscle size. Now, recently, one of my own clients started to notice that her waist was getting smaller and her legs, butt and shoulders were more toned, but her blazers were like no longer fitting and her knee-high boots wouldn't zip up comfortably because her calves were much fuller. And her body composition results showed me that she was successfully gaining lean muscle mass, which is amazing because she was feeling way stronger and more confident in her body. But while she loves how strong she now feels, I could tell from our conversation that she's scared to gain more muscle mass because her own personal goal is to look good and feel good through exercise. And it really doesn't matter whether I think she looks amazing or her husband gags every time he sees her naked. She has to feel good. So this month I've set her some homework because her work here is not yet done. Her plan is about to get way more specific, and so must yours if we want to feel stronger but also beat the bulk. Up until now, she's been solely focused on lifting weights. She's in her 50s and we train together 2 times a week. And as for her nutrition, the only goal that she's had is to eat more protein on a daily basis and keep her alcohol consumption to a minimum. And with this little bit of advice, she's seen great progress. But the holiday period has just come around and she's enjoyed herself naturally. So her fat mass has now increased and she's now feeling a little bit uncomfortable because her clothes are starting to fit differently. Now, her training alone has gotten her this far, but that's all about to change. You see, one of the most important factors that impacts whether you'll get bulky after lifting weights is the type of training that you're doing. Believe it or not, resistance training encompasses a range of modalities that bring about very different results. For example, light resistance and high volume will specifically improve your muscular endurance, your body's ability to withstand low-level forces and activity for a prolonged amount of time. Think like a marathon runner. Moderate resistance, however, with high volume will specifically increase muscle size. This is known as muscular hypertrophy. And high resistance training with low volume will specifically improve your muscle strength, your body's ability to produce maximum force. And although muscular hypertrophy is designed to increase muscle size, if you're an untrained individual, you can actually increase muscle size using any one of those mentioned modalities, because untrained muscles are primed for adaptation, whereas trained muscles need a lot more training, a lot more load, specificity, and intensity. So there's zero way to increase or improve your muscle tone without resistance training. But the type of training depends on your current ability and your goals. But for those of you who want to get stronger without gaining a ton of muscle size, I'd recommend training strength. That means high load with low volume, which feels kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? But believe it or not, most people assume that the bigger the muscles you have, the stronger you must be. But that's not true. Aesthetics doesn't always equate to athletic performance. When you actually compare the muscles of a bodybuilder, someone who is trained for aesthetics, for example, to a strength athlete, you'll find that strength athletes have better muscle fiber quality and force production, because that's what they're specifically trained for. And this is how me, as a person who weighs 127 pounds, can squat 300 pounds, still run fast and jump high. So remember, strength training aims to make muscles stronger and muscular hypertrophy aims to make muscles larger. Building muscle strength and building muscle size are not the same thing. So you could be training for muscle size without even knowing it, which is why it's important to have an experienced personal trainer to program your workouts for you. And today, you've got me. So, in order to focus on building muscle strength rather than muscle size, you're going to want to aim for a rep range of less than 6 reps and no more than 4 to 5 sets of an exercise with 2 to 5 minutes recovery. So there's a distinct focus upon intensity of the exercise opposed to the volume of exercise. Now, what type of exercises do you want to perform? Well, compound exercises are great for building muscle strength, so you could focus your time and energy on basic movement patterns like squats, deadlifts, lunges, bench press, shoulder press, and the list goes on. Now, the next question I hear you asking is, how much weight should I be using for strength training? Well, you want to be in the realm of about 85% of your 1 rep max. This means the most you could possibly lift for 1 repetition if you were completely maxed out. Now, if you're a beginner, you might not know or want to try and find out, because that could kind of be dangerous. So you need to aim to be working at about an 8 out of 10 for effort, and the last 2 reps should feel like they're challenging to you. Now, you definitely want to avoid muscular hypertrophy. So anywhere between 8 to 15 reps at moderate load, as this will most definitely spur increased muscle size, which you've expressed you don't really want right now. This is generally performed at around about 60 to 80% of your 1 rep max for up to 2 to 4 sets, and you'll get about 90 seconds recovery. Whichever way you choose to go to get stronger, let's remind ourselves of the benefits of resistance training, because it truly is the gift that keeps on giving where daily exercise is concerned, because of its ability to reduce fat, regulate mood, boost confidence, improve your strength, improve your bone density and your muscle mass, and more importantly, reduce the risk of certain chronic diseases, and so much more. Now, at the beginning of today's episode, I promised to share one of the biggest secrets in the fitness industry. And this is absolutely key to unlocking your dream body goals. But most people are sleeping on this. And the question of will lifting weights make you bulky becomes obsolete. The question you should be asking yourself is, why is lifting weights making me bulky? And the secret is your nutrition. If you are eating in a calorie surplus, i.e. you're eating more calories than you're burning on a daily basis, and you're resistance training at the same time, you will gain muscle mass and likely some fat mass too. And as a result, you might even start to feel bulky. Your nutrition will determine whether you're gaining lean muscle mass, increased water, or fat mass. So if you want to get stronger without gaining a ton of muscle size, then you need to pay particular attention to your macronutrients, how much protein, fat, and carbohydrates you're consuming. Now, the best way to do this is using a nutrition app like MyFitnessPal, Avatar Nutrition, or Carbon Diet Coach. If your goal is to feel stronger, look more toned, but not gain a ton of muscle size, then you're going to want to be eating maintenance calories, i.e. your daily calorie intake is equal to your daily calorie expenditure. Or if your aim is to lose fat, then you'll want to be in a moderate calorie deficit. Aim for around about 250 calories less than your maintenance calories. Now, it's important that you eat enough protein or you won't be able to build enough lean muscle mass for those muscles to really pop. So aim for around about 1 gram per pound of body weight every single day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's 150 grams of protein daily. And your remaining calories will be split between your carbohydrates and your fats. It's that simple. Yet nobody wants to really take the time to sit down and explain the basics of fitness and nutrition to you until now. So on that note, here are 3 easy ways that you can increase your daily protein intake if you're not doing so already. Firstly, in order to meet your daily protein needs, you're going to want to supplement a whole food diet with a protein shake. I do this by mixing 2 scoops of protein to almond milk. I get 50 grams of my daily protein intake from that alone. Huge. Secondly, you're going to want to consume a portion of protein at each meal. This could be something as simple as a can of tin tuna or chicken breast or beef steak. And lastly, Greek yogurt is jammed full of protein, roughly 15 grams per portion, and it's great to add fruit or granola to. Start here and see the difference it makes. So in summary, lifting weights doesn't have to mean bulking up. By understanding the principles of resistance training and adjusting your approach a little bit, you can build strength, improve your health, and tone your muscles without adding excessive mass. Now remember, the benefits of strength training extend far, far beyond aesthetics, contributing to your overall well-being, longevity, and quality of life. That concludes this episode of Slay. Stay tuned for more empowering discussions on female health, fitness, and life. You can follow me at Louise Hazel on social media, and you can check out the Slay brand at Slay Athletic Club. And don't forget to subscribe to the Slay podcast if you haven't done so already on YouTube, and leave us a comment. You can also get fit at home using the Slay app. You can download that now for free from the App Store to join our online community. And if you're a newbie, highly recommend you start at stage 1. Until next time.